it's Cassie and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is super exciting. If you don't notice this big thing behind me, I am starting a new TBR game this year and I'm so excited for it. I have been trying to think of a way to do a TBR game for a while. I've just been doing prompts, which has been fun, but I wanted to mix it up. So I finally thought of something. This is what I came up with. I got this idea from this drinking game that I found when I was trying to find some, but it is very similar to Current Chapter's TBR game, so I'll leave her channel link down below. But basically, I'll roll one dice. The first die will choose this side, then we'll roll a second die and say I got one, that's the prompt we pick, or 6, 1, that's the prompt we pick. I already played this in December. I already did my rolls just because I needed to do my rolls here and pick my books while I was on break, because at home I did the rolls closer and so you could actually see what they said. I thought that this would I don't know, I just thought this would be more fun, maybe leave it up to chance a little bit more, because I felt like I kept getting the same prompts all the time. So basically these are on little papers, and if you want to see me make this, I made it in my December reading vlog, but basically there's just a little piece of Velcro on this and on the poster board, and so when I get, say, this prompt, I would take this off and I'll replace it with, I have a pile of extra prompts. If you want to suggest any prompts, make sure to leave them down in the comments and I will definitely add them to my extra pile. Then that won't be taken off, replaced, so then we can mix up the prompts a little bit and hopefully we get a more variety. I also added a lot more. I am currently deciding what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna do punishments or not. I never did in past months, but I kind of want to try it out to a certain extent. I want my reading to always be fun. I don't want to feel like I have to read, so that's the only thing that's holding me back from it, because if I feel like I have to do something, I'm not gonna do it, plain and simple. So I'm kind of deciding if I'm like, don't finish all my books, if I have to take a punishment, or if I don't finish all my books, I have to roll them over into the next month. We're probably gonna see what I do on my next TBR, or if you have any ideas of other punishments for me, put them down in the comments down below, because I will also take any suggestion. I can't remember if there's any other rules that I need to say. It's pretty straightforward. You match them up. I need to make arrows. I didn't make arrows this first month, so it's a little chaotic, but that's okay. Let's get into my first roll. Sorry this angle's awful and I have this like makeshift setup. I'm gonna figure it out better for next month, but this is gonna be your situation for this month. And I'm just gonna roll them on here so you can see them, or else I'd roll them on the ground, but I want you guys to see. We'll roll one at a time. The first, oh, you can't even see it. So top one is 6. 6 and a 4, so 2-word title. Now let's hand it off to future me. So our first roll we got a 6, and our second roll we got a 4, and so that landed us 2-word title. And the book I chose for 2-word title is The Perfectionist by Sarah Shepard. If you don't know, I read the entirety of the Pretty Little Liars series in 2021, but I still have, there's only 2 books in this mini spin-off. So I own this one, but I don't own the second one, but I've been really excited to get to this lately, so I just thought it'd be perfect. Plus, like, these books, all of the Pretty Little Liars books were really fast and easy to get into and get through, so I thought that would be perfect just to have an easy, quick book on my TBR, start the year off right. I think this might be probably the first book I read in January, but I'm not sure yet. This is a spin-off series of Pretty Little Liars, like I said. And it doesn't, there is also a TV spin-off series of this, but I only watched a little bit of it, so I don't actually know fully what happens. Oh. Well, I'm already wrong. In Beacon Heights, Washington, 5 high school seniors know that you don't have to be good to be perfect. Mackenzie, Ava, Caitlin, Julie, and Parker are all driven to be perfect, no matter the cost. At first, these 5 girls think they have nothing in common until they discover they all hate the same person. Rich, entitled Nolan, who's done terrible things to each of them. They come up with the perfect plan to murder Nolan. A hypothetical murder, of course. It's all wishful thinking until they wake up one morning to find that their wish came true. Nolan was killed in exactly the way they planned. The thing is, they didn't do it, so who did? Suddenly, the girls are the prime suspects in the murder, and they need to find the real killer before their perfect lives are ended for good. I'm pretty sure the TV one is set in Rosewood still because Mona's in it. So that's already a difference, but I am excited about this. I think it'll be pretty good. That's our first book for 2-word title, The Perfectionist. Yeah, you got it, I know. Okay, we have this pile of extra ones, so we're just gonna mix them up. I'm not looking. And even I look gross, but I want to prove to you that I'm not looking at them. And we replace it with okay, the lighting's gonna be bad. With monsters. Let's roll for book number 2. The first number is 6 again. And the second number is 3. 6 across and 3 down. Number or color in the title. And next we rolled a 6 and a 3, which got me the prompt number or color in the title, which was actually harder than I expected. For this prompt, I picked Behind the Red Door by Megan Collins. This is a book that I bought kind of right when I was getting back into reading in 2020, and I think, you know what, might have been later than that, honestly. But I've been excited to read it pretty much ever since I got it, and I just never have, because it's, I've never heard anyone talk about it. I just found it in the bookstore. So, when Fern Douglas sees the news about Astrid Sullivan, a 34-year-old missing woman from Maine, she is positive that she knows her. Fern's husband is sure it's because of Astrid's famous kidnapping and the equally famous return 20 years ago. But Fern has no memory of that, even though it happened an hour outside her New Hampshire hometown. And when Astrid appears in Fern's reoccurring nightmare, one in which a girl reaches out to her, pleading, Fern fears that it's not a dream at all, but a memory. Returning to her childhood home to help her father pack for a move, Fern purchases a copy of Astrid's recently published memoir, a book that the media speculates has provoked her original kidnapper to abduct her again. With the help of her psychologist father, Fern digs deeper, hoping to find evidence that her connection to Astrid can help the police locate her. But when Fern discovers more about her own past than she ever bargained for, the disturbing truth will change both women's lives forever. Sounds twisty, so I'm really excited about it, and again, it's a short book, just over 300 pages, yeah, 301 pages. Overall, except for one, I picked pretty short books, so I hope that helps me. Again, not looking, we'll just mix it up. Reminds me of favorite movie or show. This is a new one for me and I'm excited about it. Book 3, roll number 1. Alright, something different. We got 3. Roll number 2. A 1. 3 across, 1 down. Blurb. So I just have to find a book with a blurb from an author that I have read previously and liked. Then I rolled a 3 and a 1, and that got me the prompt blurbed, and oh my gosh, this one was hard. I don't have books that are blurbed by authors that I like, apparently. I only had a couple that I found, and I looked through a lot of books. I ended up picking up one that I've been excited about for quite a while, and that is The Guest List by Lucy Foley, and it is blurbed by Alex Michaelides, who I loved The Maidens, unpopular opinion, I know, and I really liked The Silent Patient. So, a wedding no one is particularly happy to be at, old secrets, and a murder will keep you guessing and guessing wrong. So yeah, this is about a wedding. On a remote island off the coast of Ireland, guests gather to celebrate the wedding of Jules Keegan and Will Slater. Will is a rising television star, handsome and charming. Jules is a smart, ambitious magazine publisher. Though the sea is a little choppy and the cell service spotty, their wedding is everything you expect of a young power couple. Designer dress, 4-tiered cake, boutique whiskey, vintage champagne. Every detail has been curated to perfection. All that's left to orchestrate is the happiness. But perfection is for plans, and people are too human. It's not long after the cake is cut and champagne popped that resentments and petty jealousies come out. Worse yet, the latest barometer reading shows that the weather has shifted from fair to changeable, and dark clouds are looming over. Everyone on the island has a secret, everyone has a motive, and someone won't leave this wedding alive. Very up my alley. I love these type of books. Also just over 300 pages, 313. So again, pretty short book. These are the size of books that I like. Yeah, I'm excited to finally get to this. Replacing that one. Oh my gosh. And we're gonna replace it with young adult. Book number 4, roll number 1. Got a 5. Roll number 2 is also a 5. Fun. 5. Less than 300 pages. For my 4th roll, we got a 5 and a 5. And that landed us the prompt, less than 300 pages. Which again, love. I'm actually going to have 2 books here, but I'm gonna decide which one I want to read when it comes to it. I'm pretty excited about both of them, so I brought them both with me to school, and if I don't read whatever one I don't read this month, I'll probably read next month. The 2 books I have are The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins and Girls Like Us by Christina Alger. I think I put this on a TBR pretty early on in my channel and didn't read it. 273 pages, and The Wife Upstairs is 290 pages. So this one is about meet Jane, newly arrived to Birmingham, Alabama. Jane is a broke dog walker in Thornfield Estates, a gated community full of McMansions, shiny SUVs, and bored housewives. The kind of place where no one will notice if Jane lifts the jewelry off the side tables of her well-heeled clients, where no one will think to ask if Jane is even her real name. Meet Eddie. Recently widowed, he has become Thornfield Estate's most mysterious resident. Ever since his wife Bee drowned in a boating accident with her best friend, their bodies lost the deep. Jane can't help but see an opportunity in Eddie, but not only is he rich, brooding, and handsome, but he could also offer her the kind of protection she craves. As the two fall for each other, Jane is haunted by the legend of Bee, an ambitious beauty and successful entrepreneur with a rags to riches origin story. How can she, playing Jane, ever measure up? And can Jane win Eddie's heart before her past or his catches up with her? And then Girls Like Us is about FBI agent Nell Flynn hasn't been home in 10 years. Nell and her father, homicide detective Martin Flynn, have never had much of a relationship, and Suffolk County will always be awash in memories of her mother, who was murdered when Nell was just 7. But when Martin dies in a motorcycle accident, Nell must return home to close his estate, and in the process ends up becoming involved in the last case her father worked, an investigation into the brutal murder of 2 young women. The further Nell digs, the more likely it seemed to her that her father should be the prime suspect, and that his friends on the police force are covering his tracks. Plagued by doubts about her mother's death and her own role in exonerating her father in that very case, Nell can't help but ask questions about who killed 2 women and why, but she may not like the answers she finds, not just about those she loves, but about herself. So both very fun mysteries. I'm gonna pick when I feel like it. I just couldn't pick at that moment, but they both fit the prompt. And if you want to know which one I pick, watch out for my reading vlogs or my wrap up at the end of January. And we got current most anticipated read for our final book number 5, rule number 1. Okay, we got a 3. Rule number 2. A 3. Did that already happen? No. 3, 3. 5 word title. So we got a 2 word title and a 5 word title. Then we'll just mix these up. And random number. And for our final rules, we got a 3 and a 3. That got us the prompt 5 word title. I was originally going to read Red, White, and Royal Blue, but instead I decided to do something I kind of already regret, but kind of don't. The reason I decided to do this is because I've been wanting to read this book and the sequel comes out in February. But also, Lucy from the channel Looney Lucy, I'll link her in the description box below, but she is starting a book club and it's called Why Haven't I Read That Yet? Or something like that. And so it's gonna be like reading backlists of series and all that kind of stuff, and this is the first book in January, and so I figured it'd be really nice to read it in a book club form. Then it would give me some reason to actually get through it. And the reason I'm saying that is because this book is huge, especially for me. Like I said, I like the 300-page books that I've been mentioning this whole video, but this book is House of Earth and Blood, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words by Sarah J. Maas, but it's the Crescent City series. Most people just call it Crescent City, but now there's another book. So I didn't think of this book originally because I was just think of it as Crescent City. I am so scared. If you don't know, I don't read a lot of fantasy. It's just not my genre, but I want to get into it more. I read some at the end of last year. This is one that I've really wanted to get to. We're finally doing it. It is just like 799 pages or something. That's all. So I'm gonna read this throughout the month and read like 30 to 40 pages a day, and then probably purchase the next one when it comes out in February. And Lucy's book club is doing the second book in February as well. So I'm a little scared, but I think I can do it. If it takes me more than this month, it's okay. I'm not gonna get mad at myself. Like, this is a huge one to get through. Half fae, half human, Bryce Quinlan loves her life. Every night is a party and Bryce is going to savor all the pleasures Lunathian, also known as Crescent City, has to offer. But then a brutal murder shakes the very foundations of the city and Bryce's world comes crashing down. 2 years later, Bryce still haunts the city's most notorious nightclub, seeking only oblivion now, trying to put the past behind her when the murderer attacks again, and an infamous fallen angel, Hunt Athalar, is assigned to watch her every footstep. Bryce knows she can't forget any longer. As Bryce and Hunt fight to unravel the mystery, the threads they tug ripple through the underbelly of the city across warring continents and down to the deepest levels of hell, or Heel, where things that have been sleeping for millennia are beginning to stir. I think I'm gonna have to read this with the audiobook as well. I'm scared, but this is a lot of people's like favorite book, so that gives me a lot of hope. Wish me luck. So yeah, this is my TBR for the month. Guess I can show you. I can't remember. I did the math of how many pages this is, so I'll put it on the screen. There's gonna be one as if I'm reading this one and one total as if I'm reading this one. But yeah, that's my first month of, I don't know what this is gonna be called, roll my TBR Dice Game. I don't actually know. If you have any good names, let me know in the comments down below. I'm not very witty, so I'm not really good at naming things. I think this is gonna be a really good reading month. When I'm filming this part, it's actually January 3rd and I haven't started reading any of this, so I need to get on it. It's very mystery heavy. Even Crescent City is like a mystery type of fantasy. So, but if you want to see my thoughts on any of these or how it goes as I'm reading any of these, watch out for my January reading vlog. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. Both of those would mean the absolute world to me. My Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, and Amazon wishlist will be linked in the description box below if you're interested in checking any of those out. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss any of my uploads. I will see you in my next video. Let me know what you think of the new game. I'm excited. I had fun rolling, so